Hello, my friends. This is the podcast that brings the wealth of knowledge, expertise, and fun of Twins Smoke Shop, New England's premier smoke shop, right to you, wherever you are, whenever you want it. And that's not just blowing smoke. You can find us at our website, notjustblowingsmoke.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Not Just Blowing Smoke.
Cool breeze in my head, bittersweet smoke flying through the air. It's the way I feel, smoking on fire.
All right, I'm Pastor Padrón. I'm here with Paul, Nick, and Dave. It's Valentine's Day as we record this episode. How is everyone doing on this fine, wicked cold evening here in New Hampshire?
Doing great now, Pastor.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because we've started finally.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Dave, how are you?
I'm absolutely smashing. Literally.
That's very apropos.
Yeah.
Nick?
Now that I get to sit down and enjoy a cigar and a drink and some nice chocolate, I'm doing just fine, Pastor.
Oh, very, very good. We're all so talkative tonight. This should be a very fun episode for all of our audience out there. We are doing a very special episode tonight. We are going to start off with a live review of the Plasencia Alma Fuerte Sixto. The Sixto is a hex-pressed cigar. It was when it came out, I believe it still is, the only hex-pressed cigar that's out on the market today. And from the website there, it says about the Plasencia Alma Fuerte blend that it is a unique blend of our best aged tobaccos grown in our highest quality soil, accentuating their bold, vibrant, and intense flavors. Laced with hints of dark chocolate, plum, and cinnamon, the taste is rounded out with finishing notes of oak and molasses. The wrapper on this cigar is Nicaraguan. The binder's Nicaraguan. The filler's Nicaraguan. It is a 6x60 cigar. Again, it's a hex-pressed cigar. For those of you who may not understand what that means, it means there's 6 sides to the cigar. And we've lit this up, and we are pairing it with an espresso martini. Woo. From the 724 Lounge. Kendra was down here just a little bit ago dropping the drinks off. It's really busy up there, so she couldn't stay and talk, but let me tell you, this is one heck of a drink.
Oh, it sure is.
She knocks it out of the ballpark again, boys.
I don't drink martinis that often, but I love espresso martinis.
I do drink martinis once in a while when I have my gray 007 suit on.
I make this at home. I actually was talking to Dave earlier this week about the infusion jars, and so I was explaining to him how I get the espresso beans from a local roaster. I use Tito's vodka, that's my favorite vodka, and then I let it sit for long periods of time. As a matter of fact, in my infusion jar, I probably have had that espresso beans soaking in with the vodka for probably the last year and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We don't have it that often, but when we do, it's just phenomenal.
Whoa.
And I guarantee you, even though we'll be getting out of here really late tonight, when I get home, my girlfriend told me she would be up waiting for me. I know what she's waiting for, and that's for me to make this rest of my
She
day
wants
at midnight.
She wants to see the comparison.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
She
So it'll
wants
probably
to
be a
hear
late
it.
night tonight.
She wants to hear it from Paul.
One of the things they do up at the 724 Lounge is they actually do make a shot of espresso for the drink. It's not espresso flavored stuff that they put in there. It's espresso that they put in there with vodka and I believe some Godiva chocolate, I think, is in there.
That I'm not certain.
And then they top it all off with the coffee bean. It's just a fantastic
This is
drink.
fantastic. This really is.
Very, very,
Very, very
nice, rich, wonderful, wonderful drink. And it pairs incredibly well with this cigar.
It does.
It does.
What are some of the things you guys are pulling off the cigar so far?
So on its own, I got hints of cedar, chocolate, obviously,
Yep.
and this cigar looks like chocolate.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, when Dan and I were talking earlier this week about what we would do, this came to our minds right away for Valentine's Day.
It's like smoking a big bar of chocolate.
It is. So cedar, chocolate, earth, spice, and unbelievably smooth. Incredibly smooth. This is my favorite Plasencia cigar, the Fuerte.
The Forte, the
Yeah,
blend.
The blend, yes. Yes,
Nick,
it is.
Nick, what about you?
Yeah, same thing here. Chocolate, spice, nice earthy note, and just rich and smooth. And it goes 100% very, very well with the drink. Love
Yeah.
it. Absolutely love it.
Unbelievable.
The creaminess of the martini just kind of spreads out the flavor of the cigar. It really, really coats your palate.
Spreads out the flavor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dave, what do you think, Dave? Are you thinking Dave?
Dave's not home. I'm actually impressed that the chocolate that I'm tasting with the cigar modifies the taste of the cigar.
It
I think
modifies
that-
it.
Yeah, well, enhances.
Oh, all
so
right.
I'm
I was
getting
gonna say-
a little. It's making the pepper in the cigar a little bit more present. I think it's. I get a little bit of a tang of the finish of the cigar.
Yeah, I get a little tang.
Aside from that, though,
From the
the cigar is very well made. It feels weird because it's hex pressed and but the ash is right on. It's like razor.
Yep. Razor sharp burn line.
The drink our pairing is freaking fantastic. That is just one imaginative, amazing drink.
Imaginative and amazing.
Yes, amazing.
Amazing.
I knew you would
The
like
Potion
this.
Master.
I knew you would like this when I was talking to you
Yeah,
about it earlier this week.
because I'm just
So good.
such a coffee whore.
Yeah, well, I'm a coffee holic. Everybody here knows that.
Yeah.
So a drink like this is totally right up my alley. But this cigar is just the way they blend this. It's just so smooth and creamy. I agree with everybody here. It would be hard for anybody to pick up different things.
Yeah.
Chocolate, earth, real sweetness, a little bit of pepper spice. This particular size for me is the least spicy, the least peppery of the blends. The Salomon size has the most pepper, and the Toro kind of balances out the sweetness of the Sixto and the pepper of the Salomon size. And the Robusto is very much like the Toro. For me, it's another good balance between the two. But for Valentine's Day, you want something rich and sweet, baby, and that's the Sixto too.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of chocolate going around on this table right now.
There is. You want to explain that, Paul? Because we're
what's
not
up-
we're not only pairing. You can not only pair drinks with cigars, but you can pair food with cigars as well. And one of the great things to go with cigars is chocolate, and that
Cacao.
Since it is Valentine's Day, we decided to try that, especially since we were doing it with a cigar where cocoa and chocolate were one of the dominant flavors of the cigar. So, Paul, tell us a little bit about how you go about doing this.
So when we were talking earlier this week about doing something special for Valentine's Day, Dan and I were kind of just brainstorming. We said, how about just trying out some chocolate, and preferably the darker chocolate. So I went out yesterday and got 3 different blends. And in terms of just doing a little bit of research in chocolate, I didn't know this, to be honest with you, how chocolate or cacao or cocoa or however you want to pronounce it.
Cacao is the proper pronunciation.
And
Cacao.
cigars actually go hand in hand, not only with pairing, but how they are born. So they're derived from unique plants.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And they're both affected by things like topography, weather, soil conditions, harvesting processes, and seed types. The most important part would be the topography part. Okay, so you need that rain, soil, sun, everything. So it's grown very similar to tobacco plants.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like I'm back in tobacconist university.
Right. So it's when you first think of chocolate and cigars, you're like, what? Huh? But they actually do have very similar origins. And the processing of the plants is very similar as well. They're both harvested, dried, fermented, aged, and blended.
Wow.
So what I have here with us tonight is 3 different types.
Okay.
70% cacao, 77%, and 85.
Cacao.
Now, what's the difference between that? What
It's just
what is
weighted.
the increase? What is the increasing the cacao due to the chocolate?
It just basically, it's less sweetness, but
Okay.
it's actually a little bit more creaminess and more robust. So
Okay.
you really are going to get really, really deep tones.
So you
The
get
higher,
like,
the higher weighting you go.
so you get like cacao, and then you get like kapow.
So we've just been trying to, playing around with the different chocolates here, seeing which one we think pairs better. I can't tell you really.
Can I have some of the other 2? I only have.
I just had some of the 85.
What's this one?
That's the 77.
Okay.
So
Thank
Danny, I just had some of the 85.
Yes.
And for me, the cigar felt it was more spice that came from the cigar with the 85.
Okay.
With the 70, it was more creamy. I don't know how that happens, but
Well, I'm eating a piece of the 70 right now,
yes.
so I'm going to be able to tell you live on this show what happens when you smoke a cigar after smoking 70% cacao chocolate.
You smoked that chocolate? Wow.
I can do things on the radio that you just can't do in real life.
Dan smokes
okay.
and he does things.
Okay, let's try this.
Oh yeah. What a great visual.
It's a very, very, the 70% is a very smooth, creamy, sweet chocolate. And that sweetness certainly pairs well with the cigar. I think brings out some of the creaminess in the cigar. I'm getting even less of the spice with that. The earthy cocoa, leathery notes kind of become more pronounced with the 70% chocolate for me.
I'm getting more of that tang with the stronger chocolate.
From the cigar.
Yeah.
So you just had the 77? Mm-hmm. So I just had the 85. And what I'm getting from the cigar is more spice.
All right. I'm gonna go with
Can I have that 80? 80, whatever.
So the middle one is 80%.
77.
77.
And this is 85.
And that's 85.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do 77. You guys talk amongst yourselves while I'm chewing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
sorry,
Yeah.
we have some dead
Some
air.
dead air here. We don't need that tonight.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Dead
no.
air. Yeah. Nope. Yip, 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 yip. Oh.
You all are
so.
just so good at doing audio shows, you know?
We are.
So,
You
how was
just- you
how
don't-
was your day, Nick?
Don't watch
good.
me
That
chew.
That was good.
Talk.
That's great.
Such a good.
Paul, how was your day today?
Same as Nick.
Good
day. It was a very productive day. We got a lot done today at the shop.
Yeah. Well, I remodeled my car.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
Yep. It's good.
It'll well, why don't you? While
It'll work itself out.
Danny comes to a conclusion about his pairing there, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about what happened today? If you want to, it's totally up to you.
No.
Okay.
I'll keep that. Yeah, but it's good though. Had a good morning though. It was good. Had to, work for good old Steve. Hurt his back. Picking up snow yesterday, so I had to work today.
What is he doing shoveling snow anyways?
So, well, you got to shovel the handicap ramp, and you have to shovel the steps.
But doesn't he have you there now? So you should be doing that.
We only work by ourselves, so you know, when you're there, you know, that's what you got to do.
I suppose.
Yeah. But
All right.
So what's the verdict?
The verdict is, with the 77, I'm not. It's definitely a richer chocolate. It's definitely not as sweet. I'm not noticing as much of a change between the 70 and 77 with the cigar.
Right.
I'm getting those same kind of effects. The finish of the chocolate is a lot longer,
Yeah.
and that's changing how I'm experiencing the cigar. If anything, I guess it more of the earthiness and dirtiness of the cigar is coming out. If you're going to talk about earth, an earthy kind of, you know, like, you know, just the smell of soil, that kind of earthiness is what I'm talking about. I'm picking up more of that. But again, both of them pair very well with this. But I'm not sure between the two of them that I discern much of a difference between 1 and 2 as far as how it affects the cigar. Does that make
Yep.
sense?
Yep.
Perfect sense.
Now, have you had the 85 yet?
Not with the cigar.
Try the 85,
Try the
Daniel.
85.
Well, I'm afraid to try the 85 because if I take the 85, then there will be another 2 minutes of dead air. While you guys sit and watch me chew instead of actually talk on the podcast here.
I'm picking from 85 right now.
Paul, pass me some of that 85, Paul. Because I love me some dark chocolate, man. Give me another piece because you're giving me pieces that I would give a child.
Yeah. No, what,
I don't want to overwhelm you with chocolate
Ding.
right now, my friend.
I love it when you overwhelm me with chocolate.
that's what she said.
That dark chocolate, man. I can eat dark
So-
chocolate all day long.
I am not getting as much spice with the heavier chocolate.
Really?
With the heavier cacao.
Heavy cacao?
That's interesting because I actually get a little bit more with it. It's toning down the cedar chocolate notes in the cigar. It is bringing out a little bit more of the earth, but the spice, I do get a little bit more from that.
Well, maybe, yeah. It's back.
It's back.
I get more of the spice in the retro.
Yeah.
Don't really get much on the palate.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have
Well,
some
that
drink
80,
and
the
bring it down.
85 is like it coats your palate, and you know what I mean. It almost hides a lot of the nuances that the cigar gives you, and then when you retrohale, it's
Yeah.
all spice.
So we,
I almost think that the 85 is a little bit too powerful for the cigar.
yeah.
I like how the 70 and the 77 go with it and kind of smooths out the cigar even more than it already is,
Yeah.
and kind of helps you really dig into the sweetness of the cigar, and it seems to really match the chocolatey kind of flavors
Right.
that you get from the
Yeah.
cigar.
Right.
The 85 seems to be just a little over the top. That I'm tasting. You know, even the finish is even longer with this,
Yeah.
which it is
Yes.
with dark chocolate. Dark chocolate finishes really long,
Yeah.
and it's really covering up a lot of the softer notes of the cigar that I could pick up earlier.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that cedar, I don't get it all.
Exactly.
A lot of the sweetness in the cigar, I don't get it all.
Right.
It's
Which is
gone.
one of the reasons to smoke this. It's such a great, sweet, chocolatey, medium-bodied cigar. This is not the flavors are rich, but it's a medium strength cigar. Really enjoyable. So I would stick with the first two myself.
Yeah, I feel like the 70 is definitely my favorite. I'm happy with that. You get more of the cigar with it, but it still brings out a lot of the sweetness and ups the pepper.
The 85 wasn't, didn't like make the cigar unenjoyable,
Right.
but it was just a little bit too much.
It
You know what I mean?
it overshadowed the cigar.
It overshadowed the cigar.
Big time.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it.
But with the 85 and the cocktail, or sorry, martini, it's really nice. Because then it just kind of it because there's so much on the palate from that dark chocolate. The martini just kind of spreads around and fans out and kind of gives you a little bit of everything that's in the cocktail. And I'm using my hands really crazy right now, which I shouldn't be. But yes,
It doesn't really matter.
it doesn't. No, nobody's watching
Nobody's watching.
except for that guy in the window. But
You have great hands for radio.
Claus.
I do have great hands for radio.
So I just had
You've got hands for radio.
I just had another piece of the 70, and I absolutely agree. It's pairing much better with the cigar. It's bringing out a little bit more of that cedar notes, the chocolate I'm picking up. The spice is definitely there, the earthiness. So everything that we love about this cigar is pairing very, very well with that chocolate. I like this one the best.
Yeah, I have to agree. The 70's my favorite.
Yeah.
The 77, close second. But
Yeah.
70 by far is the best chocolate pairing we have so far with
Yeah.
this. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here at Twins, cigar-wise. Coming up this coming Friday, the 21st, here in Londonderry, we're doing an event with Heron Sickle. Eric Wentworth is going to be here. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. That's going on from 4 to 9 p.m. right in the Londonderry location here. And then on Monday, February 24th at 7 p.m., we're starting something new. We are starting something called Cigar Pub. And Cigar Pub is something we're going to do a few times. We're going to see how it goes. It is a ticketed event, limited to 15 people. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a class on pairing spirits with cigars. And we're going to focus on a particular brand of cigars with each one that we do. And the first one we're going to do is going to focus on 724 cigars. We're going to do one of the original blend Robustos, and we're going to do one of the WK Robustos, 724 WK series, which is the Connecticut wrap cigar. And there's going to be drink pairings for that.
Oh, yeah.
$30 signs you up for the event and gets you both those cigars and matching pairing drinks that Kendra the Potion Master and I have come up with. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have done this, ironically, first with pipes, and it's been a huge, huge hit. And we wanted to do it with cigars too, of course, and that's all ready to go. People are already signing up. Like I said, there's only space for 15 people to do this. So go to Twins here in Londonderry or Hooksett and sign up for that event. $30, 2 cigars, 2 drinks. That includes the gratuity for upstairs and everything. So that's a really solid deal. I mean, the cigars themselves retail for $10 a piece. So you're really getting, the drink's only $5 if you think about it like that.
Yeah, it's true.
$15 a piece. So go and sign up for those. And then we are doing a Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust event on March 19th in Hooksett and March 27th in Londonderry, both from 4 to 9 p.m. And Steve Saka will be here at Londonderry. Is he going to be over in Hooksett too? Yes,
I
he
believe so.
And that's going to be a really good time. Mi Querida, Sobremesa, Sin Compromiso, Umbagog, Todos los Dias. Am I missing anything?
Tricky Traca?
Well, Tricky Traca is part of the Mi Querida line. But yeah, Tricky Traca too. And
Umbagog.
The Umbagogs, the Brulés, Sobremesa Brulés. Very, very good cigars. Great Nicaraguan blends. And that's going to be a lot of fun. So we hope to see you there on the 19th of March in Hooksett and the 27th of March here in Londonderry. Again, both from 4 to 9 p.m. You can stay in touch with Twin Smoke Shop on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And, of course, twinsmokeshop.com. So what are our continuing thoughts here on the Plasencia Alma Fuerte Sixto 2?
the retrohale on this cigar is unbelievably smooth. Now, I don't know if that's because we've been feasting on chocolate,
Or drinking
if it's the drink,
lots of alcohol.
or if it's a combination of both. But either way, this retrohale is probably, I would say, has just a little bit of spice, just a tad bit of pepper, but incredibly smooth. It is. It's probably one of my favorite retrohales I've had smoking a cigar. It is so good. Fantastic.
Yeah. I know sometimes you're afraid of getting this whole big of pepper spice burning thing in your retrohale. That's not what you get with this. It is very smooth, and I really recommend that you try and do that to retrohale. Cigars are a tasting, smelling thing, not a breathing thing, but you can, pull the smoke into your mouth and then, exhale it out your nose, and your nose has a lot to do with how you experience taste, and so you can really pick up a lot more flavors by doing that, and it is just so pleasant.
It is.
No real pepper at all. The tiniest bit of spice, but it's so that's the word that comes to my mind is cocoa, chocolate. This is like smoking a big bar of chocolate.
Yep.
That's what it is. This is a 6-inch hexagonal thing of chocolate that you smoke. It's awesome. It's a great cigar.
That's why we're doing it today.
It's fantastic. Happy Valentine's
Day. We'll talk a little bit more about Valentine's Day in the second half of the show here. Let's do a little bit of cigar confessions here.
Ooh.
And we're going back to the community cutter issue that we talked about last week. This is the community cutter part 2. This is something that is also something that needs to be just put out there. All right. The community cutter, we talked about last week. Don't lick your cigar and then use a community cutter. That's gross.
Yeah.
It's unsanitary. It's flu season. Come on, just be respectful
It's
that
corona.
other people are following you using that cutter.
It's coronavirus season right now.
The next thing that people need to understand about the community cutter is that the community cutter at our store, and I believe almost every store, at least all, and it's true of all the stores I've worked at or gone to on a regular basis in the last 20 years, is next to an ashtray.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. And so what you should do is take the cutter, whether you're using yours or the community cutter, and cut your cigar over the ashtray.
I agree.
But what I often see is people cutting it wherever they're at. They'll take the cutter, and then they'll walk over to where there are magazines and cut the cigars over the magazines.
Yeah, that happens.
That happens.
A lot.
Or they get the cigar, at the register, they ask for a particular kind of cutter. Like we have a very nice deep V cutter behind the counter for people to use, and hand it to them, and they'll cut it right there where people are putting their money and stuff, and they don't clean it up. They just clip it, and all this stuff goes everywhere. And I've seen one person in particular take half a dozen cigars and clip them all on top of the magazines, and then leave. And then we have this big stinky ashtray that's literally 6 inches away from where he was cutting the cigars. And he doesn't even take the magazine and then just wipe stuff into the...
No,
but these are for sale. The magazines are for sale.
Yeah.
They're not there for you to just say, hey, what's the cigar of the year or whatever. They're there for customers to purchase.
Mm-hmm, true.
They're not there for you to cut your cigars on and then leave them there. So when you use the community cutter, cut your cigar in the ashtray like a normal person.
Was the magazine a cigar snob?
Doesn't matter. What
It doesn't matter what it
magazine
was.
is.
There was Cigar Snob and there was Cigar Aficionado there.
I'm just saying it would be kind of
Yeah.
ironic.
I think this is more. Of
I took pictures. I have proof of this.
Oh,
I have pictures
It
of
was
this.
awesome. Yes.
All right. So, again, you're wanting to keep the area clean because, again, people are coming after you to use this. And if people come and they see the mess there on the floor or on the, use the ashtray. There's a reason it's called the ashtray. Yeah. It's for the ashes. It's for the clippings from your cigar. That's what it's for.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna have to add a cutting fee.
Yeah, nobody.
You have no idea what a cutting fee is, do you?
No,
You have no idea.
Yes,
no idea what it's for, do you?
This is more
None.
of a Pastor Padrón cigar rant versus his Pastor Padrón cigar confessions.
Oh, this is a total confession.
This is not.
You
a
can see I have a
confession.
problem with this.
This is
I have
a
a problem. I have a problem, people.
This is a rant. This is not a confession.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Just don't do it.
This is Cigar Etiquette 101. This
True.
has been a PSA by Pastor Padrón.
PSA.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled program already in progress. All right. What's our final verdict
you
on
feel-
the Plasencia Alma Fuerte Sixto? Don't.
do you feel-
Don't.
Do you-
What's your final verdict on the cigar?
It's a wonderful. Do you feel better now that you got that off your chest? Sorry, I had to go there.
you can just see the stress come out of him. It's just beautiful.
But he needs to get it off his chest. He doesn't. He shouldn't have to hold that in. He needs to get it. He needs to release it.
And he just did.
He just
I
did.
just did.
I'm very proud of him.
Yeah. Somebody had to say it.
Yep.
It's okay.
Paul, what do you think about the cigar? Do you like it or not?
Oh, I love this cigar.
Well, at least.
Doesn't it show?
Play his little loop. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
That's your cue, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your cue,
Yeah.
brother.
Okay, well, we'll just continue
Excellent.
on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this cigar is excellent. This is,
Man.
What kind of spice?
but it's a little spicy.
Just go down the line and play all his stuff.
This is really the reason why this is my favorite Plasencia cigar. It's just it is loaded with flavor, the cedar, the earth, the cocoa, the spice. Incredibly smooth. That retrohale, just 2 thumbs up, way up.
Dave?
I was when I found out that we were doing like chocolate in the cigar. I was just kind of like, all right, that's different.
No, you weren't. You were happy.
I was not.
You were happy. I don't want to hear it.
I was being nice.
I don't want to hear it. You were happy.
So
You're like,
now
ooh,
that I'm-
chocolate.
Now that I've had it, I think it's cool that you can just even with a piece of candy, you can enjoy smoking a cigar.
Well, it's
more.
not just a piece of candy,
And-
sir. It's a piece of
It's a piece of candy
cacao.
It's cacao.
and kapow. But yeah, it's definitely 2 thumbs up for me. This is crazy dynamics, especially with the drink, which is absolutely amazing. The espresso.
Yeah, the espresso martini here
No sleep tonight.
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic drink. If you are anywhere near Twins, you need to come to the 724 bar and you need to order one of these things.
Yeah.
Now I'll be honest, this is an intensive drink that takes them about 5 minutes real time
At
to
least,
make the drink.
yeah.
Because it takes time to brew the espresso that is used for the drink.
Because it's real espresso. Yes.
Espresso.
Espresso.
And
Express yourself.
Kendra may not really like it that I actually said that, but
No,
it's
you're gonna
true.
have to answer
It's an
her
incredible. It's an incredible drink, and it pairs unbelievably well with this cigar. The Almaforte is my favorite line from Plasencia by far. Beautiful, beautiful cigar. Medium plus. Smooth, creamy, chocolatey goodness. Great cigar. It's a wonderful celebratory cigar. And this goes for $22, right?
Correct.
$22 here in the store.
Aw.
So it's not a cheap date, but it is worth every penny.
You're going to get a lot out of it.
It's you will enjoy savoring the cigar. It's really, really good. All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do part 2 of the show.
Part 2.
All right, we're back for part 2, and we are looking at Chenet's Cake from Cornell and Deal. And before we get into that, we are blessed with the presence of the Potion Master, who has brought down a heart warmer.
Ooh. It looks like
Kendra,
a heart warmer.
Tell us about this. What is this little thing
Heart.
that looks like a little heart sliver in there?
So it's along the lines of an old-fashioned,
Yeah.
but I think my creative process with this started with the garnish. I'm really big with the garnish game.
Yeah,
So
you are.
I have a lovely new air fryer that I got for Christmas, and so I really like dehydrating fruit in it.
It's awesome.
So I started with the blood orange because they're really pretty dehydrated, and I was thinking, what can I do with my blood orange? So obviously there's an orange peel and an old fashioned, and right now, I don't know if you guys have mentioned it yet, but we are in what's called Whiskey Wars.
Whiskey Wars!
We're in a competition right now. So if anyone is local listening to this, please come down to the 724 Lounge, and until March 15th, enjoy any of these cocktails that we've created on our seasonal board from Basil Hayden, Maker's Mark, or Knob Creek. But for this cocktail, I used the Basil Hayden Dark Rye, and I made a simple syrup with cane sugar and vanilla, and I put some orange bitters, and again that Basil Hayden Dark Rye, and garnished with the blood orange dehydrated wheel.
Which looks absolutely beautiful.
So,
Yeah.
so let me get this straight. You actually used an air fryer to dehydrate?
I work from home, Paul, you know.
Well, I didn't expect it to be upstairs at the bar, but I'm just
Scud it in the back room.
wow.
Just
That's
so you know, I'm
Did you-
always doing something.
Did you get a
along those
Ninja?
lines. Huh?
Did you get a Ninja one? Which one did you get?
No, it's like Innisky. Does that sound familiar? I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I got a Ninja one too. That
So I asked for the Ninja
dehydrating.
one, but my mother said that it was like really small in her opinion. So I guess this other model was, mine's a little bit bigger than that. But yeah, I use it almost every day cooking, and then also, do you remember when I was trying to dehydrate it in the toaster oven down
yeah,
here?
yeah.
So yeah,
Fail.
I really love to dehydrate fruit for garnishes. It just looks really pretty.
It does.
So this drink started with that.
That's awesome. Now, since we got you here, can you please tell us what's in the espresso martini?
Yeah. So an espresso martini is something that you can go into any bar and order one, and they're going to make it different every time. Like every bar has like
Right.
a different way of doing it. Here we use vanilla Stoli, Patron XO, a little bit of Kahlua, Nespresso espresso, and that layered Baileys at the bottom.
Oh, that's good.
So I think the trick with ours, why everyone is like freaks out about it, is that it's that foam, that espresso foam that we have on the top. Similar, like if you were to order an espresso anyway, the crema on the top. So it again, it's good for the presentation.
Yeah.
Hashtag
It's
garnish game.
Hashtag garnish game, yeah.
But yeah, it is. I feel like anything made with Nespresso is delightful, isn't it?
Yeah. And they make a great coffee.
Yeah.
And espresso makes a great coffee. Unbelievable. We're spoiled to have that here.
We are.
It's
Yep.
very, very good. So, what do people think of the drink? It obviously looks fantastic, but does it taste fantastic?
Well, I guess you'll have to tell me that. I feel like you guys are sending more people upstairs ordering the Blackbeard.
Well, that may be me.
Yeah. There was a guy that sat down yesterday and he was like, have you heard of the Potion Master?
You're looking
That
at
would
him.
be
I guess
Wall.
that would be me.
Hashtag Potion Master.
He was like, is your first name Potion? I'm like, oh my gosh.
Last name's definitely Master.
Whoa. Seriously, what do you think of the drink?
Oh, okay.
And still silence.
It's incredibly.
These people just do not get that this is an audio podcast.
It's sweet. It's mellow. It's awesome. It really, really is. And when you mentioned that you're using Basil Hayden's dark rye. I mean, it's because I've had that before. And what you said, the simple syrup and what else?
Orange bitters.
Orange bitters. Wow! It just
so smooth.
smoothed it right out.
You don't get any
Big
of
time.
that.
You don't get any of that.
Can't even tell.
Not at all.
It's all citrusy,
Exactly,
smooth,
yeah.
sweet.
It tastes over the counter. It doesn't taste like a. I don't know. It's just that smooth. I don't feel any alcoholic bite in it at all. It's unbelievable.
It's dangerous.
So smooth. It's wicked.
Well,
It's really good.
I think when you have like an original from me, I tend to try to do things that are along the lines of an old fashioned or a Manhattan, only because that works so well like within our building. So I could come up with, a bunch of martinis or you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like those classic whiskey cocktails here is going to work the best for us. I mean, why take the time to come up with new drinks and then have it sit on a menu and no one ever orders it? So we make so many old fashions here. We make so many Manhattans here. So ways to make it different, I try to use, like with the Blackbeards, right? I'm like, okay, what can we do with that lovely bottle of maple syrup? Let's try to do something else with that. What goes good with maple, whiskey, smoking the glass, different ways to look at like an orange garnish. So all those types of things. And then Sam's other whiskey war cocktail, the Creek Rose. So he loves cherry juice.
Yeah, he does. Maybe a little too much.
I make fun of him because there's bottles of cherry juice in every corner of the bar, I swear. So, but that's something that he can do with whiskey.
Yeah.
He can utilize the cherries in different ways. So instead of just garnishing with a cherry, now we're shaking it with cherry juice. So yeah, we try to keep it, to please the 724 Lounge customer for sure.
That's awesome. Well, I think this drink is going really well with the tobacco here. Let me tell you a little bit about it so that you know what we're smoking. We're smoking Chenet's cake from Cornell and Deal, and on the tin it says, named in honor of Pierre Chenet, the farmer credited with discovering the process that turns burley into Perique in 1824. This combination of Virginia and Perique pressed into old-fashioned crumble cakes is a Perique powerhouse for those who simply can't get enough of this truffle of tobaccos. It's part of their cellar series, which means this is a tobacco that they have made that is fantastic right now, but they're thinking it's going to peak in 10 to 15 years. So if you want to hold on to it, it's just going to get better and better. This is a nice, rich, spicy, slightly fruity hay, some bread notes in the tobacco here. I think it's going awesome with the heart warmer. What do you guys think?
Yes, absolutely. I love Virginia Perique blends. I mean, my favorite blend up until today is Speakeasy. So that's Virginia Perique. This is probably maybe double the Perique.
Yeah, it's a very high level of Perique.
Yeah, so I'm loving that. I'm really getting that spicy notes, the just a little bit of that dried fruit. It's wonderful. Really, and the retrohale, wow,
is really spicy.
Really nice.
And just you're pulling on the pipe, and you just get these really deep, rich, dark, fruity kind of notes. And that blood orange garnish actually is a great pairing. That kind of deep citrus that adds to the drink just pulls out those flavors of the Virginia there and pairs so well with the peppery, spicy, figgy notes of the Perique. Just unbelievable.
So yum.
The drink is absolutely phenomenal, and I can pull out a little bit more of the fruit, but it's also just that spice is just right there too. It's not going away. It's just so pleasant.
Yep, the drink is really pulling out the Virginias and the pipe smoke.
Yeah.
The retrohale is like insanely smooth. It is beautiful.
I think when Dan and I were talking about earlier this week what we would do for the pipe tobacco, we were trying to figure out again maybe something for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And so I was just scanning our selection and I saw the word cake.
Yeah.
I said, "Wait, we haven't done this one yet." Forget the word Chenets. I just saw the word cake, and then I read the tin, and it's all I saw was the truffle of tobacco. I said, "That's it. That's the one."
We have to say that, Dan. We have to say truffle of tobacco.
Yes, we found it. By
Oh
Jove.
my goodness.
This is wonderful. This is so good.
What do you think, Nick?
This
Is what happens when you take 4 seconds to respond to my question.
That's okay. It's excellent. I love everything about it. It's you do get the spicy note and the retro, but the fruit that's kind of behind it, goes really really well with the drink. And the drink is surprising because rye, you get a good bite on rye, and you don't taste any of that. It's just a awesome citrus cocktail.
The little bit of maple that they put in there, I think, totally counteracts that bite that
Big
you
time.
get from the rye.
Yeah.
And so you still get that nice alcohol. You know, you know this is whiskey. You know, but man, it's really, you would not think it's
So
rye,
smooth.
and it is just so smooth.
I had to take several sips of this drink to really figure out what I was drinking. And when obviously I knew what it was, but I'm like, I could not get any of that rye out of it. It was just, it's so sweet and smooth, but in a mellow way.
Yeah.
So good.
It's
Yep.
very good.
Speaking of that, where would you put the body and strength of this tobacco we're smoking?
I'd say medium.
Yeah.
Medium.
Medium?
Yeah, medium minus.
To me, the Perique just brings it up a little, so I'm going to say medium, a solid medium to me.
Yeah, it's a solid medium to me. You know, not medium plus by any means.
No, solid medium. Very good, solid medium.
Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here pipe-wise at Twin Smoke Shop. We've got that big La DC pipe show on March 14th here at the Londonderry location from 12 to 4 p.m. We're going to have all the lines that have been released in the first quarter of this year from Peterson, Savinelli, and Rossi here. We're going to have every shape and every finish of those new lines for you to choose from, and there's going to be some beautiful pipes, not the least of which are going to be the latest line from Peterson for St. Patrick's Day. That St. Patrick's Day weekend, the 14th, is kicking that off, so you can come down. It's a great emerald green finish they have on the pipes this year. They really, really pop. I don't think they've ever used that particular finish on pipes before. They look really, really good. Mark Mormar from Laudisi will be here. It's always great when Mark's in town. He knows so much about this stuff, and hopefully we'll have him on the show while he's here too. He's such a great friend of the show and everything. You can follow us on our Facebook page, Twins Pipe Club, Instagram with the at Twins Pipe Club, and stay in tune with us. We've got a lot going on here. Every second Saturday of the month we have a pipe club that meets. We're very active. We have tons of people that come to that, and it grows every month we do it. We have more and more people showing up.
crazy.
It's just fantastic to see people coming out of the woodwork from that. And it's not only pipe smokers who have been looking for a place and finally hear about what's going on at Twins. There are people who have been thinking about pipes, either here at the store or, from friends of people who are at the pipe club, and they show up, they get their first pipe, and they find out they really, really have found something that they can dig into. So I encourage you to come and enjoy that here. What are our continuing impressions of the Chenet's cake by Cornelendale?
It's really, really smooth. I'm, of course, a big Virginia fan, as I always say. The drink is definitely bringing out the Virginias big time for me. A lot of that dried fruit taste going on there. I think the finish is I'm getting a little sour in the finish. It's lingering on the back of my tongue. The retro ale is absolutely smooth. Yeah, it's good.
Sweet. What about you, Paul?
I'm loving the spice in this, man. I really, really am. This is this I was completely unaware of this tobacco until a few days ago, until I saw the word cake, and I'm so glad that we're doing this because I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is probably my favorite tobacco.
Finally.
Yeah, I can't hold back anymore. And if you listen to what I said earlier, I said up until today it's been speakeasy because as I started smoking this, that additional perique that's in this, I love, and I know that we've talked about what in the beginning what really the kind of tobaccos I like. Virginia perique seems to be, more of what my palate accepts, and this is without a doubt phenomenal.
This is one of the highest perique mixture blends I think C&D does. I did some research, wasn't able to confidently nail down exactly what the ratios were between the Virginia and perique, but I know it's really high. I can taste it's really high.
Yeah. Are you getting a lot of floral notes in the retro?
A little bit, yeah. The retro is unbelievable, beautiful. Just a little bit of that spice, but I do pick up those floral notes. Yeah.
So it is Valentine's Day. What are you
Singles
guys,
Awareness Day.
Yeah. What do you all think of Valentine's Day? Do you guys celebrate it with your wife or your significant other, or Dave, you don't have any of that. I mean, do you?
Yeah. Damn. Happy Singles Awareness Day, people. Yes.
What do you guys do on Valentine's Day? Is it a real special day for you? Is it a big deal? Is it like one of these things where you have to go out and get something or do something, and if you don't, you get screwed? Or is it? So, yeah, the single person laughs at that. Yeah.
I laugh at
the married people here.
There's some serious stuff, man.
What do you guys do for Valentine's Day?
Well, for me, it's kind of a little bit different because I don't really take it too big of a deal. Because I tend to get my wife items through the year. Starting off with her birthday and Christmas. Her birthday is 2 days away from Christmas, so that's a pretty hard month for me, but it kind of runs through the whole year. Usually every month, I try to get her something. Usually every week I get her flowers, and it just kind of lingers through the whole year. I don't really wait until, Valentine's Day to be like, okay, I'm going to go out and get 2 dozens of roses for her or anything like that.
Right.
So for me, it's just kind of like another day. I do kind of see the significance of it for other people, but for me, it's just like, okay, well, it's another day.
Another smoke.
Another day, another smoke. But I do get her something in celebration of Valentine's Day.
What'd you do this year?
I bought her a North Face sweater that cost me $150.
Wow.
Wow.
I won't even spend that much on a game.
Well, I wanted to get her I wanted to get her the winter jacket that was $300, but I was like, no, I could probably wait until our anniversary, which is coming up. So,
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's always good to
Great.
kind of build up to the anniversary.
yeah, build up to the anniversary.
Build up to the anniversary.
So, but for me, it's just I always do something for my wife, whether it be flowers every week or I always try to get her something.
Okay. Paul, what about you?
We never go out for dinner. It's always we don't want to deal with that madness. And really, why set yourself up with a prefix menu or things that are going to cost you twice as much, you know, and deal with all that. And what I usually will do in years previous, this year obviously I'm working, and I'll maybe make her a dinner sometime this weekend. I'll obviously get her flowers and just so she knows I thought of her. But
You always think of her, Paul.
I always
Come
think of it.
on.
That's the thing. It's like it's not just one day; it's every day. You know,
There you go.
I mean, you just celebrate being together every day.
Yeah.
And
I think-
we're never one in the holidays. We don't gift each other anything during Christmas. We don't really gift each other during Valentine's Day. Maybe our birthdays we will, but for the most part, it's just celebrating being together every day. So it's really not a special day for us. Like I said, maybe get some flowers. I was told this year, don't bring home any sweets.
Well, we're all eating them here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, so
We ate 'em
I'm
for
taken
you.
care of.
Don't worry. Paul ate them for you.
Paul took
found it out.
But the rest of this has got to go home with you guys because
I will throw myself on this chocolate sword for you, baby.
That's it. I think what Paul's trying to say is if you're waiting one day to get your special lady flowers, then you're doing it all wrong.
Yep.
Yep.
No,
You're-
I totally agree.
And
You're,
ladies, if
you're
you-
wasting 364 days out of the year.
That's right.
every day is Valentine's Day.
That's right, Paul.
That's right.
Every day.
day is Mother's Day.
I love my mother too.
How about every day's Father's Day?
Yeah, right?
There you
Yeah,
go.
all right. Hold your breath.
That's right. I'm not. But I totally agree that if you're in a relationship with somebody, and you need to be showing your love and appreciation consistently throughout the days, the weeks, the months of the year, and if your big thing only happens on Valentine's Day, which, let's face it, started in the 1300s, really. I mean, Valentine's has been around for a long time, but it, started because
Of a massacre. Yeah.
a massacre where, a guy named Valentinius was a Christian bishop, was beheaded by a Roman governor.
Whoa.
And that's what Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is, celebrating the martyrdom of this bishop.
So
and
when the
it wasn't.
flowers and chocolate come in.
Well, it didn't happen until
Thank you, America.
Until the late 1300s, when the author of the Canterbury Tales, his name escapes me at the moment, Geoffrey.
Rush?
No, not Rush. Oh, come on! What was his last name?
Chocolate.
Oh, jeez. Well,
Cacao.
he mentions that in February, in one of his books, that the birds seem to come together for coupling, and that started the whole idea of people writing letters and pairing up and getting romantic in February because the birds were doing it in England. And
That's
then,
for the birds.
and then, so by the next century, when you got Shakespeare writing, that's, that's actually in Hamlet, that Valentine's Day is mentioned and everything. And once all the chocolatiers started producing stuff, all that came out of that thing from the Canterbury Tales in the late 1300s. That's where it came from. People thinking that birds mate in February, and maybe it's good for people to do the same thing.
Sure.
Again, every day.
Every day
Every day.
is a
Every
good
day.
day.
Every day Another day, another smoke.
So what's our final verdict here on the Chenet's cake?
Just a wonderful blend. The Virginia's nice sweetness. The Perique is outstanding. The Retrohale is, again, outstanding. I'm proud to say this is my favorite pipe tobacco. It took over the Speakeasy.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, I'm
big.
so glad we found this just from the word cake.
Just from
What's
the
this
word
cake stuff, Dan? We haven't done that before. Yeah. There's Perique in it? Oh, let's do it.
Let's get it.
This tin says cake.
What do you think, Dave? Thank you, Dave. What do you think, Paul?
A lot of tobacco notes. Like, I don't know why.
There is.
Nick.
So yes, so I don't think I agree 100% with Paul saying that this is better than Speakeasy. It's definitely good, but Speakeasy would probably be still my top one, next to Dunbar by Esoterica Tobacciana. Man, that's mother's milk right there. Oh. But this is this. Okay, I went 3 times. But this is a really good tobacco. It's definitely something that would be on my top 5 list for sure. Virginia's, Periques, it's pretty much everything you kind of want. It's not a full body. It's medium. It's not going to kick you in the butt or anything like that. It's not going to keep you in your seat at all. But it's something that's really, really good smoke.
Yep, I would have to say that this could definitely be an all-day smoke for me. It's got like that perfect medium, where you're getting enough of the Perique, but not too much to make it like maybe like an afternoon smoke.
Yeah, it's not
But
bowling you over.
No.
I mean, it's definitely there.
I would
more
definitely-
pronounced.
I would definitely like to try this with a coffee in the morning. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think this would go nice with a good cup of coffee.
Some laughing men.
The drink in this, the heart warmer here, just went incredibly well with this tobacco. Just totally brought everything out and together. Beautiful, beautiful drink. The tobacco is really, really tasty. I would love to do one of our aging tests a few years from now, assuming we're still doing this, and see how this stuff ages. Because I think it would age really, really well. And I'd love to see how the Perique in Virginia changed over several years. This is really, really good stuff, and I highly recommend it. You've been listening to Not Just Blowing Smoke, the podcast that brings the wealth of knowledge, expertise, and fun of Twins Smoke Shop, New England's premier smoke shop, right to you, wherever you are, whenever you want it. You can find us at our website, notjustblowingsmoke.com, and keep in touch with us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Not Just Blowing Smoke. Thanks for listening, everybody, and that is Not Just Blowing Smoke.
Rolling with the top down.